Hey, I'm Daniel Nelms here with Josh Martin, and we're going
Hello.
to do a the day in the life of. This is the second episode. It's about a cook in Kenya.
Right.
And if you like these videos, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. You don't know this is the second time we've done this. We had a little bit of technical difficulties and the program crashed, so we're going to try this again.
It'll be fresh for you though. This lady is Perez Wanyama. Perez Wanyama.
There is one, yeah.
And we're not exactly sure on her age, somewhere middle-aged, but it's her and her daughter especially that are there through the day. And once again, you've got all of these little trailer shots showing you what you're going to see. But this day, believe it or not, was really muddy in the beginning. When I came with our director, George Stumby, we had to switch seats in the car and we were really struggling to get up the road. We had to stop and we had to walk up there. It was hard to get past a certain point anyway. Right off the bat here in the morning, she is cooking. And you can see her making these little patties here. It's called chapati. And then this here, I do not remember the name of this right here, but it's basically made from the same thing, but it's sweeter. And she actually sold those to some of her neighbors, but it's part of her breakfast here.
Almost like a little donut.
Yeah, it really, and they're good. There's all kinds of chores going on in the morning here. And this young man, I did not know what that man was. He's helping her with water. He's filling up with her dishes here. I'm not completely sure who he was. I was not introduced to him, but he comes back at night, so he's part of their family. I met her and her two daughters mainly through the day. As you can see, she's already doing dishes. Look at the load of dishes she's doing after making the bread, the chapati. And she's putting them right there on. She doesn't have a countertop like most of you ladies out there. She's got a mud floor and she's just using water from the well. She's got neighbors that come and talk to her through the day. So right now you've got two little kids, you've got two mothers, you've got another little baby that she's got on her back. She's carrying him with a blanket on her back. But they just came and they stayed there while their mothers talked to her. So while she's doing dishes, she's got all kinds of conversations, things going on. She's finding out the news of the village here. There's her drying rack. Just like you have in your sink. This is the road that we got stuck on, this right outside their property. That's her cow. Female
She's
cow
already
right
gotten
there.
up early in the morning to probably milk her cow so she can make her milk tea.
And that's what she's making now, is this milk tea right here. You see one of the ladies has stayed with the little baby and she's talking to her inside the kitchen, but she's making this tea and she's just using firewood for that. There's no stove here. But really what this is going to be is milk. It's mainly just milk. It's mainly a pot of milk that she's boiling. And then she has tea grounds here. That's the sugar. So she's going to pour that through the tea grounds. So you're getting a glass of hot milk that has been poured through tea grounds. That's the traditional Kenya milk tea. And you will see that all day long.
My nemesis.
Out there. Yes, like for Ernest Livingston, he's lactose intolerant, you know? that container, you'll see that all day long that she's pouring into that red container. They'll have hot ones in almost every house that I've ever been in, especially in this town, which is Eldoret. This is just outside of Eldoret. There's villages everywhere around there, but every home that you go into, you're gonna see this milk tea. This man, so he's visiting, and they offer him milk tea. It's just morning tradition.
Morning, afternoon, and night.
Morning, afternoon, and yeah, all day long. This cat is eating bread, not meat or cat food. At first, it wouldn't take the bread, but he's like, come on, come on. They call him Puss. and it eats bread. It's the only thing it can get. So now guess what she's doing? She's already going into her main chores, washing clothes. Her and her daughter's clothes. All by hand. And she's talking to someone here too. See that? So there's an older woman that has come and she's just sitting there with her milk teacup. And she's watching her do her chores, talking to her.
Supervising.
Yeah, exactly. And she doesn't have a dryer. She's got her entire, these are all of the barbed wire all around her property. There was back of the property, the front of the property is where she's hanging clothes. It's all over the place. That's from the mud that morning. It was actually a lot muddier than we showed. So she's already done quite a bit, and it's still morning time. Some people wouldn't have even gotten up yet in our country.
Tell me about it.
And this is lunch. She's preparing these beans for lunch. So she's sitting there. You can see her blowing into her hand. So she's kind of blowing the husks off. But she's also searching for pebbles and things that are in there.
Right.
Before she throws it in. I've definitely eaten some things where I crunch on a rock, you know. So
it's no good.
Nice when ladies do this.
And then you take out the beans that float, you know.
Yeah. She's getting rid of all those skins. But here's another woman and her daughter. That daughter helped the other daughter. So both their daughters were helping to carry water. But more visitors.
Yeah, because they have no running water. They have to go get buckets and fill them up. And
right. You're going to see a little bit later where they have to go next door. You see how that lady is bending. She's down low. And inside there, the smoke is so bad in that kitchen midday, you cannot breathe. So if you stand all the way up, you see she's still down low. Yeah, you cannot breathe in there. You have to get real low to even talk or breathe. That is full. I did not see who brought the wood in, but that's more firewood for her to use. I did not see her chopping wood, so I'm not sure where she had that. I think it was the boy that was there. She's got to keep that fire going while she does her other chores. This is the pastor and his wife of the church that she's a part of in that village. And that pastor's wife came quite a bit to visit with her during the day. And they're drinking milk tea, of course.
Of course. Gotta have the milk tea.
There's her big troublemaker, the calf. It's constantly looking for its mother. And it makes her run in circles all over that homestead. And she has to tie it up in order to move the other one. So it's a real stubborn little calf.
Yeah, that calf's not very old, you can tell.
Now she's locking her kitchen, and her daughter are going to the field to work. Still morning time. Still morning.
Now barefoot.
Yes. So they don't wear any kind of work shoes. They take off their shoes when they go into the field. And they don't want to bring all that mud back, and they're just more dexterous out there doing that. But they're bringing that hoe down pretty close to their toes, so they need to be pretty good at it. She gets tired out here. I could tell it was a tough day. And corn is the big staple there in Kenya, especially up in that area. Corn is very, very important. But she's got her field she's working. And she is tired, like I said.
Been a long day already.
And she hasn't even gone to her cookie jar, which is really what's cooking for her. But she's doing a lot of home chores. See all that smoke pouring out? You can see up above, if you stand up in that, it is hard to breathe. Now she's gonna get some bananas here in the back. I know she cuts this for her daughter to take. They're still green. But then she takes all this from the banana tree and she's gonna feed the cow with that. So she chops it up and the cow really did go for it. So she brings her in. You can see that calf back there. She has to pull that calf every time she wants to do anything with it. So this is clear across the field and at the neighbors. She pulls that up. It's the well. So you got to sink that bucket every time, pull that up, and fill the other buckets, and then her daughter helps her carry it back and forth. But they've done that, I don't know, 3 or 4 times while I was there. They would disappear, and I finally found out where they were going.
Right.
And it was usually her daughter that was doing that, so I was sticking with the woman that we were filming. But yeah, that's a lot of water they're carrying, you can tell.
A lot of work.
And once again, that's not on her property, that's a neighbor's. Here is just out on the road, and you can see now what a troublesome calf. Chased them all over. Our director there in Kenya, George, he had told me he had no idea until he watched this how much trouble she had taking care of those cows. She got her daughter to come and help her. And if you watch while they're watering the cows here, her daughter's combing her hair. Her daughter has changed clothes already, and she's getting ready for something for them to go in and work. So they're cleaning themselves up and preparing for a journey. And they need all that firewood in order to cook where they're going. This is inside her home. That's inside her bedroom. You see her suitcases are full of clothes. You can see she has no blanket on her mattress there. They just stuffed all that clothes inside those suitcases. That's where she was pulling out things to look for. She's just freshening up. And here they go.
Already been a long day of work. Now going to work some more.
So this would be her main job. She's heading for what we would say is a restaurant, and it's for workers that come in out of the field. But she's going clear through these neighborhoods, and it was at least 20 minutes walking at a really good pace. The food was heavy. Her daughter would have to kind of put it down on the ground every once in a while. But it's like a full thing of beans she's carrying there, and it's hot.
And a big metal pot.
Yes. And all the women there in Eastern Africa, you're going to see carrying those bundles on their head. That's her friend, just slapped hands with. So there's other women working there. Now they call this a hotel, what we would call a restaurant. So it's a different kind of a name, different term than what we're used to here, but they're preparing food for these workers. Now you can see them starting to gather. You can see they've got greens, they've got beans, and they've got something called ugali made from cornmeal. And all these women are serving. Still, Perez, she has not had a chance to have her lunch yet. She's still serving here. There was a lot of jokes going on. I'm not sure what everybody was talking about. I think some of the time they're talking about me. I'm a stranger there. And these workers are wondering what I'm doing there.
Why is this weird guy filming us?
Documenting her life.
Find some cabbages.
Yes. So there's finally getting a chance to eat. But she just sat and talked to the workers until everybody's gone. On this trip home, there were a lot of neighbors that talked to her. You don't see it in the video, but there were quite a few people. And so she knows all kinds of people along this road. She's out there every day.
And that was a good distance from her home, right?
Yes. It was a long one to walk. It's interesting, you see them playing the game there, right in the grass. Those men are just sitting right in the ditch, right on the side of the road, playing. Yeah, it's a good walk. Now they're going to prepare for dinner. So they're already preparing in early afternoon. And her daughter is plucking the chicken, and they're going to slaughter that together. As you were asking earlier, like what else they put into that cornmeal, I'm not completely sure there because I only see the oil. I'm not sure what else they added.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe they added salt or.
Yeah. I didn't actually see anything else. There's the chicken head.
Yum.
There go the legs. So if you'll watch close in some of the scenes beyond this, you'll see that chicken head and the feet inside with all these other items. And there's a portable stove. They're going to use that for the chapati, the bread. Hopefully that chicken's not getting a mouthful of a distant cousin. I don't know there. Actually, he was going after the bread though. See, she sanitizes everything. She's wiping down the tables. Now this process, you didn't see it as much, but this was like how she started the day when she was making these chapati tortilla type. These little bread, it's very similar to what they do in Central and South America.
Yeah.
It's a little thinner, maybe. So that's just hot coals and oil. We had another storm coming, but it surrounded the area and it got windy and dark, but it never rained on us. It's just not the rainy season. I think this was July. It was either late June or early July, somewhere in there.
2023, right?
Yes. She's got another visitor, and the pastor's wife back there with the green cloak. She's coming back. So they've got the chicken cooking, and she's been making chapati bread, and now she's working vegetables. This is all in preparation for her daughter coming home from school and supper that night.
Some holes in the roofing up there.
Yeah, and when you're outside, you can really see the smoke pouring through areas.
Right.
That's her daughter. She had a cough that day. She's had a cold.
Poor thing.
And it's getting cold too. In the evening, it started getting cold. You can see she's wearing a hood.
Yeah, you said it gets really cold at night.
It was during that time of year. There's the pastor coming to visit, and once again in the home, while she's preparing dinner, he's got the pastor and his wife visiting. So she's giving her daughter a bath just now.
Oh.
There's cold water outside. She's got a Jurassic World shirt there. Lots of used clothes, you know, and just wear whatever they can find.
Absolutely.
But she cleans her up, and then they go right into dinner time. This meal really was good. You can see the daughter praying there, the youngest. I was given a plate as well, so trying to film while I'm doing that. And normally there would be no light in here. I actually added a light in the window. So you've got milk tea once again, and sometimes I'll break a soda pop. You can see that there as a drink, like milk tea and that as a treat. But the singing that she's doing here, all these, it was like English songs that were on the sort of like YouTube kind of a thing. They're watching that, and they were doing all these little dancing and things. The little girl was trying to learn English, and she's doing songs. all together at night. Everything's closing down. There you go.
Good stuff.
This is a very busy woman. So as you've seen,
Hmm.
this is busier than the first one, but you get to see her doing all of her chores and just so much work during the day. She's
Yeah.
very busy.
Well, that's the whole thing about this series is just to show you, what people's lives are like around the world. Um, so yeah, if you guys have any questions for Josh, please make sure you comment down below. We,
Please do.
really want to hear your questions. We really want your comments. And if you enjoyed it, please make sure you subscribe and give us a thumbs up because that really helps us out. And you don't know how much.
Yes. You can learn all kinds of details about the country. If you're interested in Honduras, you watch the first one. You're interested in Kenya, you're interested in whatever country, then this really shows you how people live in third world conditions. So, and if you're supporting a child or you're supporting a preacher, you're seeing those people in these movies here, but you're seeing an entire day of detail of exactly what shoes they wear, where they walk, where they get their soap. I mean, everything that she does during the day, you just saw. So you can learn a lot about life in Kenya by watching that.
Yep. Well, we hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time, guys.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.